right, so here in the top right-hand corner of the map, Daybreak, we have our teal Terran player from the team Quantic Gaming. It is THEognis. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, sporting the tag Aphrodite, it is StarTale Bomber.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Bomber does something very similar to what he did in the previous game, which is the fast tanks into bio. I think the bio switch was definitely because of what he saw out of Apocalypse, but I think the opening is something that is strong because you open it, it's good against most of the openers of the other Terran, and it allows you to sort of branch off from whichever way you want to go from there because you sort of have a good foundation for everything.
Yeah. And so now THEognis has a kind of cool brand of TVT. We've seen it come out a couple of different times. I remember back when he actually came in against as part of the all kill from when it was Quantic IM back in the day, and Thorzane was able to take them out. THEognis, of all the players that played in the first best of 5 where Thorzane all-killed, was actually the closest to taking him out, so despite any sort of cross-server play and things like that.
Yeah,
So
definitely an underrated player.
Yeah, very underrated player, and we'll see what he's able to do now against Bomber.
You know, I really have to again tip my cap to the former managers of Vile. Being able to identify talent is such a huge thing, and they really made Vile into an impressive team to be able to catch Quantic's attention. So
there you go.
Quantic made a very smart decision in picking them up.
Yeah, and kudos to everyone involved with that, and including, I won't name you over the air, of course, but a friend I have who was instrumental in making sure that Vile had a future with Quantic. So awesome stuff, and I can't wait to see the future of Quantic. Of course, their players have been playing extremely well lately. Naniwa, as we know, is in the round of 16 in GSL Code S, and Sase, of course, just took 4th place at MLG, so congrats to both of them.
Yeah, do you notice what Bomber's been doing also? When he sends the scouting SCV out, he has it start the second supply depot to block off access, and stops it, sends it off, and then brings an SCV up from his main mineral line to block off access. It's
that's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Well, good stuff there, and Bomber now, of course, starting to mine gas. And again, guys, for anyone who was tuning in a little bit earlier, I just want to apologize for all the difficulties today. Thank you very much for all of your feedback, and thank you very much for your patience as well. We've got some awesome StarCraft coming for you guys, and what could honestly be better than that than 2 top-level StarCraft teams going at it now, so... we also want to say, as well as things kind of get ramped up here in this TBT, as we see both players expanding at the moment, that Alex is here casting with us. Doa is en route to the Gigabyte LAN, and I mentioned that I was going to tell funny stories. So here's the funniest one. So obviously, our SC2 division manager is Alex, and his last day is going to be tomorrow because he's actually going to be going to law school. He was on deferment from it and wants to take that opportunity, and best of luck to him. Now, the first time I met Alex was at MLG Dallas in 2011. And I was really excited about the future of casting for a big organization. I really wanted to impress everyone. And Alex, talking to me at one of the parties, came up, and I was like, so yeah, do you guys need a caster? And he was like, I don't know if we really want you as a caster, per se. I mean, we really like your voice, so maybe do like stuff in between games and things like that. So this was the first time I ever talked to you.
Wow, I'm glad that is seared into your memory.
No, I just remember it was one of those moments where I was like trying to make a break for myself, and I do appreciate IGN for giving the opportunity, of course, and here I am now. But I just remember then I was like, I'm going to do everything it takes, and I'm going to be part of IGN.
And here you are. At events, it's very interesting because there's so many people that want to become involved, and
that's right.
It's definitely it's not easy. It's a combination of hard work and more than a little bit of luck. So
yep.
I've had a request from a couple people to do an AMA tomorrow about what it takes to actually get involved in the business from a non-caster side, because that's one of the hardest ways to get in. So if you guys are interested in sort of at least my take on how to get into it, be watching the StarCraft Reddit tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, we'll look forward to it and promote that out there as well. So, time to catch up here really quick on the game as we see Bomber decided to go after his Cloaked Banshees once again. Now, a scan comes down from THEognis, and yes, it's just out of vision. And Bomber did such a great thing as well, bringing the factory back so that THEognis wouldn't think there's really anything out of the ordinary as well. Now, THEognis may still think that something is up, and indeed already shifts a lot of Marines up to the top left-hand corner of his base as he himself is prioritizing a lot of bio upgrades.
Yeah, I think this is something that definitely is going to be very solid for Theognis. He's already building a missile turret as well, so as long as he doesn't miss any obvious placements, I think this will be deflected, and he'll be in a good position to carry forth for the rest of the game.
Well, Banshee number 1 is just about to pop up for Bomber. Let's actually take a gander at this rally point. Looks like it's right through the middle of the map, and will probably pass under the guise of this Marine here next to the Xel'Naga Tower. So we'll see if Bomber decides to hide that. It looks like he is moving out of vision.
Oh! Wow, that's a blunder. I'm very surprised to see Bomber doing that, especially after he initially juked a little bit to move out of the way. So I think the Marines will be there ready to catch him and receive him.
That's right, and indeed they are. And Cloak's going to finish up here in just a second. There it is, but the jig is up, and Theognis does know about this Banshee, of course. Oh, and the missile turret is just out of the detection range here, so a few Marines going to the low ground, few staying on the high ground, and honestly, Bomber is a really, really nice sweet spot here where he can do damage and not take any on his Banshee. Yeah,
that's really unfortunate for Theognis. He should have definitely prepared a little bit better. It's rough. It looks like he defended all the ways that he could have come to the base, except straight through the middle.
Yes, that's right. And well, here for Theognis, though, the small consolation he can take from this is that he had combat shields done in time. So only a handful, only like 1 or 2 of these Marines have gone down. You can see a lot of them that are very low. It takes 2 hits for a Banshee to kill a non-combat shield Marine. It takes 3 hits to kill a combat shielded Marine.
Yep, and you see with the health bars and all these units that he definitely would have gotten about 7 more kills.
That's right.
If he hadn't researched that. So a minor bright spot for Theognis. I'm surprised that he has not closed off that access path and another Banshee actually gets through.
Well, he's trying to put up this missile turret up at the back, but unfortunately, just a little bit too much damage being done here. There is enough energy, I should say, for scans, though. So, and there it is. Will the Banshee go down? No! But the missile turret takes it off from the side.
A little bit of luck for Theognis there at the end. Bomber missing that a little bit. He should have been able to see that. But, you know, definitely Theognis would have been in a much better position if he just had 1 missile turret position better. He would have been able to actually be significantly ahead.
And now looks like these Banshees still continuing to get in and do damage. Once again, everything kind of around the ring here, but not a lot of defense in the mineral line itself, so more lost mining time. And Bomber now sitting at 90 supply. It looks like he will lose that Banshee eventually, but we can see from him he's reinvested back into his infrastructure. He has 4 barracks down, multiple upgrades coming up, and sitting with a very nice Marine tank composition back at home.
It's so frustrating to see someone who knew what was coming, prepared almost properly, but then it almost seems like sometimes players get a little bit greedy and they're like, I know what's coming, I only need like 1 missile turret or 2 missile turrets. You know, sometimes it doesn't hurt to just cover your bases, make sure that you're going to be taken care of. You know Bomber's going to be investing a lot into this tech path he went into, and another couple missile turrets could have deflected entirely, wasted that 200 gas, or wasted the gas for the cloaking and the Banshees, and really just could have been in a much stronger position right now. You definitely don't want to be down against someone like Bomber.
That's right. So Bomber now sitting with a little bit stronger economy, up by 10 workers at the moment. Of course, does have his 3rd base finished quite a bit before Theognis does. Theognis, of course, sitting on no tanks, just Marines for now. His opponent, Bomber, has the exact same number of medevacs, a few additional Marines, and then 3 tanks on top of that. So the unit composition for Bomber is quite good. Upgrades a little bit in Theognis' favor. He's going to finish +1 armor before his opponent does. Well, it looks like they've got armory and 2nd engineering bay coming up at about the same time.
Yeah. And if you've noticed how Bomber has positioned his buildings at the entrance to his natural, it almost creates a funnel of sorts where, not anymore as he's moving out, of course, as I'm trying to make my point. Thank you very much, Bomber. Where basically to be able to get to the tanks, you would have to rush through a very narrow area and allow the tanks to basically destroy any sort of pure Marine composition. Oh, Stimming to try to save it.
Oh,
and
wow.
he is able to save it.
Oh, that was so close. That was almost just brilliant for Theognis. It's another one of those things that's like, aha, I've caught this command center. There's no units around. Oh, crap. I couldn't quite kill it. It seems to be kind of the order of the day for Theognis. Just a little bit unlucky on basically everything so far.
That was a lot of stem on a lot of Marines as well, so it's going to take quite a bit for the medevacs or both sides to be able to heal them up to full.
And let's see now, as there are double factories out for Bomber at the moment. He's saturating up his next base as a lonely tech lab sitting over here with nothing on it. Hopefully that'll get rectified in a bit. Third command center just finishing up for Theognis as well. Probably call down a mule and lift and get out of there. And it looks like he's just going to go ahead and lift right away. Wants to expend all this energy on the more full mineral patches, which is actually a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, I agree, and it seems like Bomber might be pulling a little bit ahead in upgrades as well. Looks like the Theognis is just starting. He's about maybe 30 to 40 seconds behind, at least on infantry weapons.
Yeah, that's right. So actually almost a full, or over a minute in game, so.
Yeah, that's, I mean, right now he is definitely behind, so he needs to either have a misplay by Bomber, which you can't count on, or
yeah,
just barely. Or
Mule.
be able to force something and do some harassment and destroy some economy. But it seems like he's playing definitely passively right now. He's down by about 30 supply. But it looks like there is going to be a drop coming, but Bomber has some units stationed at the top of the map, but I think we'll be able to see it coming.
That's right, and in fact that medevac is pretty low in health, so maybe able to pick it off as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh wow, big stim up from the front line of units who want to get in there before anything is sieged up and ready to go. Theognis has to siege up right now, and indeed he does. Looks like Bomber going to pull back for now, doesn't want to run into that siege tank line. Of course, his +1 weapons for any of his ground units aren't coming up very, very soon, and Theognis is going to go ahead and run through with this drop.
Yeah, I think definitely Theognis needs to have that drop do something very well here, because right now Bomber's looking in a very dominant position. He can even expand behind this. In fact, he's making 2 command centers to Theognis's 1. So Bomber can basically sit here, keep them in base, and then be able to take additional bases and be able to eventually win through the resource lead.
Oh, looks like Bomber's just going to run through down to the bottom right-hand corner. Theognis doesn't have a lot here. He's just lost everything, and he's going to lose the command center as well to these +2 Marines. They can rip through buildings so quickly. Actually, Bomber taking some time to go after SCVs. First of all, looks like he's got a couple other things on his mind. Command center goes down. He's got to clean up the drop as well. Theognis not going to get any damage done there, and unfortunately finds himself down by 64 supply.
Yeah, and you can just see even before the fight, Bomber's production capacity was at least a couple buildings above Theognis's. So it was unfortunate. I wish we had been able to catch that fight for you guys, but as you know in TVT, especially when it's Marine tank, fights are over in about 2 seconds. So,
that's right. Yep. That's right. In fact, we did basically see the whole fight. It was just, well, a bunch of Marines ran up, a bunch of siege tanks killed things. So
yeah,
that's my in-depth analysis, by the way. I'll be here all week. So
it's very good, sir.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Appreciate it.
You know, definitely in any theater of war, probably the worst one to be a Marine is TVT, because you just get shredded.
That's right. So, well, standing underneath Colossi is not a fun sight either, or underneath or above Baileys. Really, actually, the life of a Marine sucks in StarCraft 2. You get stim, so like you have drugs to help you buy, I suppose, but that's about all. So
anyway. Here we go. So many more Marines and tanks on Bomber's side. This is just going to be a complete cluster for Theognis.
That's right, and he can even sacrifice a bunch of his Marines just to nail down these tanks, and has enough left over that he can obliterate the rest of Theognis's army, and that may be all she wrote. 90 supply advantage now for Bomber. There it is, GG, and StarTale goes up to a 2-0 lead over Quantic.